Welcome to 49 Things I Love About My Bentley. Maybe you caught the video of the 8 things I hate about my Bentley, which I don't really hate, but I wanted to follow up with some love, so here are the top 49 things I love about my Bentley. Let's go. The Flying Bee. They're everywhere. It's fun to be reminded of what kind of cool car you are in. You can find them here, and 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 here. The old Rolls-Royce style. The Arnage came into circulation around the same time that Bentley and Rolls-Royce were finalizing their divorce. That means that the Arnage is probably one of the last Bentleys to have a significant part of Rolls-Royce DNA. The steering wheel. The steering wheel in this car is amazing. The leather is soft, it's got a thick grip to it, and just look at this stitching. Bentley spends a ridiculous amount of time hand stitching each steering wheel, and it is quite evident. Quilted leather stitching. This is one of the main reasons I searched for an Arnage T over an Arnage R. The seats look amazing, and this definitely adds an incredible wow factor. The keys. They just look cool. They have a heavy feel to them, and you just know it's high quality. Valet parking. One of my favorite aspects of owning this car. It's amazing the treatment you get, even in this 2004 Bentley. I think I'm going to make a video dedicated completely to valet service when you drive a car like this. Exclusivity. I can't think of a more exciting, more unique vehicle in this price range than the Bentley Arnage. What production vehicle can you find under 50 grand that's as unique as a Bentley Arnage? Seriously, if you have good ideas, put them in the comments below. 450 horsepower. I just might make 450 horsepower a minimum requirement for any future cars I buy. T24. Now this is exclusivity on top of exclusivity. This car is one of 24 cars that was made to commemorate the 2003 victory at Le Mans. By my calculation, my car is number 18 of 24. The T24 upgrades include nice modern touches such as carbon fiber, sport exhaust, this cool Union Jack flag, and a commemorative placard on the front stereo face. It gives a more youthful look to a classic Rolls-Royce design. Chrome gauge bezels. Usually, I subscribe to the idea that less chrome is better, but the subtle trim around the dash gauges is executed perfectly. And for me, it's a reminder of another car that I'm in love with, a third generation Mazda RX-7. Chrome delete. As part of the T24 trim, the bezels around the headlights and taillights, which are usually chrome, are body colored. This is one of those subtle changes that make this model look really nice in my eyes. The seatbelt warning light. Now why is this a great feature? Because it shuts off. I'm not advocating unsafe driving. Keep your seatbelts fastened, but I'm also not a fan of a car nagging you constantly. For example, this Lexus. Okay, it wants me to put my seatbelt on. Let's put it in drive. Oh, oh, she's really angry now. But the Bentley, it's such a gentleman. It's as if the car is speaking to me.
Hello, sir. It's been brought to my attention that your seatbelt has not yet been fastened. I'm sure you're aware of the safety benefits and local laws regarding this matter. It would appear you've made this decision intentionally. Well, we wouldn't want to wrinkle that fine suit now, would we? Carry on, sir. Forgive me for mentioning it.
The concealed trunk keyhole. This is just cool. The GM transmission. It's nice to know that this car has such a popular transmission. That means parts won't ever be scarce. And this is the same rock-solid transmission that's used in literally millions of trucks. The AC vents. Now each of these is sculpted from a piece of solid metal. Just listen. The car is factory debadged. I mean, you've got the flying bees everywhere, but there's nowhere on this car that says Arnage. As fancy as it would look with a big chrome logo in the back that said Arnage, there's just something classy about not indicating what kind of model car this is. On non-T24 models, Arnage is written on the door sills, but the T24 doesn't have that. In fact, the only place where I have found Arnage written on this car is under the hood, under the engine cover, on this little label. And it doesn't even tell you which Arnage it is. Maybe the T, maybe the R, who knows? Taking photos. It's fun, but it's difficult to step out of your car at the valet and not look like a conceited fanboy taking pictures with your phone. But the truth is, after 6 or 7 months with this car, I still love taking pictures of it. The car looks expensive. The finishes are amazing. If it looks like metal, it's metal. If it looks like leather, it's leather. If it looks like wood, it's wood. And if it looks like plastic, it's probably leather. The sound system. Now on paper, it's reported that this car has a 140 amp sound system, which doesn't sound impressive, but when you're driving and you put on your favorite song, especially if it's hip hop or death metal, you will be impressed. Reclining rear seats. Is this necessary? No. Is it cool? You better believe it. People are super impressed by these back seats when they recline. It's unfortunate because as the driver, I won't ever get to experience this. The smell of the interior. Now, it's hard to convey this in a video. There's just something about the leather and the other materials that make this car smell so distinct. One time I left the window down in the garage and the next day the whole garage smelled like the interior of my Bentley. And let me tell you, that's a good thing. 645 foot-pounds of torque. You know what else has this much torque? The 2016 Dodge Challenger SRT Hellcat. The Arnage was pulling the same torque numbers 12 years before this modern American muscle car was on the road. Sure, the Hellcat is a completely different class of vehicle and maybe more sporty and more fuel efficient and has a warranty with better technology and more modern standards. But can it do this? The shark gills. It's such a small part of the exterior, but it adds so much sportiness. It's almost exclusive to the T24 models with a few exceptions. Other later Arnage trims had the horizontal slats available. In my opinion, the shark gills look much better, much more aggressive. Sound of the door closing. Perfection. The car feels safe. There's just something about being strapped to 3 tons of car that gives you a well-planted and secure feeling. Power folding mirrors. Surprisingly, I use this feature a lot. My garage is a single bay where I park the Bentley. The car is wide, so being able to fold in the mirrors really takes the edge off. Push button start. Now, this car is 2004. That was the early days of push button start, so it still requires a key. But on the bright side, you can skip that step of pushing in the brake pedal. The price. These cars are at or near the bottom of their price curve. I think now is the time to buy these cars at the best possible price because it's not going to drop any faster. Carbon fiber. As part of the T24 trim, this car has carbon fiber bits everywhere. It's located around the dash gauges, door trim, and picnic trays. It really adds a nice sporting touch. Regular Arnage Ts have the turned aluminum, which looks equally nice, but I prefer the more playful addition of carbon fiber. And just think of all the weight savings I'm gaining. The concealed navigation screen. Now this is cool for a couple reasons. A, it just looks cool to push this button and watch the screen flip up and down. And B, I don't use the navigation that's built into cars. I always use my phone, even in my other cars. 170 mph top speed. Not that I'll ever need it, but it's nice to know that I have it. The wheels. A 2-piece riveted 5-spoke design. In my book, you can't go wrong with that. The organ poles. Perhaps the most frequently asked questions I get about the interior of this car is, what are these things? These control the flow to the air vents, and they're just fun to operate. The owner's manual. I love sitting next to the fireplace and reading a good book. This is probably one of my favorites. Trunk latching. This trunk automatically latches closed once you set it down gently. The days of slamming it shut like a caveman are long gone. The engine bay. It's so clean and nice under here. The engine cover looks like artwork. Literally, I would hang this in my office as an art piece. The heritage of Bentley. Bentley has been making race cars since the early 1900s. Heritage is one of those things that you just can't fake. So the heritage behind the Bentley automobile is something that's very special and cannot be recreated. The picnic trays. These are just nice features. Now, I don't get to spend a lot of time in my own back seat, so I don't get to use these very much, but they're just so well crafted, such high quality. Bentley swag. Now admittedly, you don't have to own a Bentley to have Bentley swag. It's just fun to surround yourself with things you're passionate about. Pulling into the garage and seeing my Bentley. That's just a great feeling. Thick doors. One of my standards for judging a quality of the car is the thickness and weight of the doors. This car has both in spades. making YouTube videos. This is one of my favorite aspects of this car. Now, I could make videos about my Suburban all day, but that's just not going to get as many subscribers as a car like this. Backseat carpet lights. I didn't even realize this feature existed until I was editing a video I made about this car and I noticed the light shut off. These are a neat little feature, and they add a warming glow to the interior of the car. The analog clock. I'm still getting used to it. It's a romantic idea, but it's placed near other gauges that don't need to move every minute. Sometimes I'll glance up and see that the clock minute hand has moved a lot. I think, uh-oh, am I overheating? Is oil pressure too high? But wait, it's just the clock. Advertisement. I now receive advertisements from Bentley and even Rolls-Royce whenever I'm surfing the web. This is bizarre. I didn't even know Rolls-Royce had advertisements, let alone Facebook advertisements. Usually these ads are served because I search for this topic a lot online. So now I'm seeing ads for Rolls-Royce and Bentley, and I don't even mind. The best heated seats in the world. I have been in a lot of cars with heated seats, but I can tell you the combination of soft leather, plush seats, and seat heaters makes this Bentley the most comfortable heated seat in the world. Black piano wood. While I appreciate the detail of traditional wood grain beauty found in other Bentley cars, there's something about the sleek, youthful look of this black piano wood. Rear heated seats. Again, another feature that I'm just not going to get to experience very much, but still, very nice to have in the back seat. Looking over the hood from the driver's seat, quite possibly the most compelling reason to purchase this car. When you examine each luxurious feature of this vehicle individually, you can appreciate them individually. The leather seats are nice, the wood dash is nice, the attention to small details in the interior, the power. But it's when you get into the car, all the excessively luxurious features of this car come together and create an emotional experience when you see this long hood out in front of you and your car begins to accelerate. The car is no longer the sum of its parts. It's about the emotional experience. Some have called the car a psychological bulldozer, and when you drive the car down the street, you can see why. It was after the first time that I drove an Arnage and had this experience that I decided this was the car that I needed to buy. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Be sure to thumbs up the video if you liked it, and I will see you in the next video.